The tourism industry is highly dependent on resources such as natural, cultural, and human resources. In a rural tourism destination, managing these resources is challenging as most resources are open access. This photo in Bali, as an example, highlights a conflicting interest in one resource, a rice field. Farmers rely on this rice field for their livelihood. Tourists consume the aesthetic appeal of this rice field. Entrepreneurs also use the same rice field to enhance the views of their villas. Conflicts arise as tourists start to litter the environment. Entrepreneurs start to build more villas, causing land use conversions. Farmers, however, feel marginalized and they feel the lands are exploited. As a result, they've put this sign to protest. If this exploitation continues, it can lead to the tragedy of the commons. This is when different resource users follow their rational choices for self-economic benefits from resources that they share, but in doing so, they neglect the adverse impact on others and on the destination. My home country, Indonesia, currently plans to use rural villages as a pillar for tourism recovery. This is in line with findings of recent studies, which show that after the outbreaks, tourists are more likely to prefer a natural environment, quiet and less crowded destination, just as in a rural area. Our target is to develop more than 7,000 tourism villages across Indonesia. However, without careful planning, we will face a similar resource exploitation crisis as in the picture that spans not only in Bali but also in the entire country. So, how can resources used for rural tourism be re-evaluated and managed based on their various identified conflicts? A theory suggests community-based collective action as the best solution. However, most studies only apply this theory for resources that we can physically consume, such as water or fishery. What about resources that we can consume by seeing and feeling in a way tourists consume this rice field? My study will make a theoretical contribution in this context. I am currently interviewing key stakeholders in two villages in Bali, Taro and Munduk village. By the end of my PhD, I hope that my findings could provide a model that would help them to consider what resources and how they can best manage them for rural tourism. In the long run, I also hope that my findings could be extended to other parts of the world that also experience a similar resource problem. Eventually, it is time to see from a different perspective on how we can use rural tourism resources, aiming not for individual self-benefit but for collective benefit and for the future benefit of the destination.